3 a.m. Strait of Hormuz, 21 miles of black water, the most dangerous shipping lane on Earth. 1/5 of the planet's oil bleeds through this artery every single day. Tonight, on an American destroyer, the radar screen is dying. 200 contacts, spike, 300, spike, 400, fishing dhows, oil tankers, cargo ships, commercial flights overhead, speedboats, drones, mini-submarines, all of it, at once. A human radar operator can hold 10 targets in his head, maybe 20. Push him to 50 and his brain locks up. Iran knows this. Iran built an entire war doctrine around this. They don't need to outgun the US Navy. They just need to drown its eyes in noise. The military has a name for the weapon: information overload. Bury the missile inside the minnow. Hide the assassin inside the crowd. The operator on that radar tonight isn't human. This is Project Overmatch, the US Navy's classified AI brain, the invisible admiral, the algorithm of victory, the obliteration of the old world. For 70 years, the US Navy ruled the oceans by being bigger. 11 aircraft carriers, hundreds of warships, trillions of dollars in floating steel. The doctrine even had a name: Capability Overmatch. More guns, more hulls, more firepower. You win. That world wasn't replaced. It was obliterated by a $500 microchip. The trillion-dollar carrier strike group, the supercarrier, the nuclear submarine, all of it can now be hunted by a $2,000 drone built in a garage, a speedboat with a torpedo bolted to the deck, a cyber attack written by a teenager in a basement. The math didn't shift. The math inverted. In February 2026, at the West Conference in San Diego, the Chief of Naval Operations stood in front of the entire American Admiralty and said it out loud: the US Navy can no longer win by mass alone. The age of steel was finished. The age of code had begun, and the proving ground for the new age is the Strait of Hormuz. Iran cannot build carriers, so Iran weaponized cheapness. Thousands of fast attack boats, hundreds of drones. A doctrine called the Swarm: launch 100 speedboats and 50 drones at one American warship at the same instant. The destroyer carries missiles. It does not carry enough missiles. And even if it did, can the captain identify the 90 decoys before the 10 real killers reach torpedo range? 20 years ago, the captain dies. Today, the captain owns the night because of Project Overmatch. The Invisible Admiral Project. Overmatch is not a ship, not a missile, not a gun. You cannot photograph it. You cannot point at it on a map. You cannot bomb it. Project Overmatch is software. It is the digital nervous system that fuses every American asset in a battle space into a single shared consciousness. Every destroyer, every submarine, every F-35, every drone, every spy satellite, every Marine on a beach with a laptop, all of them devouring the same cloud, all of them seeing the same picture, all of them weaponizing each other's eyes at machine speed. Launched in late 2020 and buried under classification for years, Project Overmatch is the US Navy's contribution to a Pentagon-wide effort called Combined Joint All-Domain Command and Control. Translation: every branch of the American military, plus its closest allies, fighting as one organism instead of 5 separate services tripping over each other. The money tells the story. The Navy demanded nearly $140 million for Overmatch in fiscal 2025 and over $716 million across the next 5 years. More than 80 ships are already deployed with Overmatch capabilities, right now, this minute. In 2025 alone, the program forged 590 trained sailors and welded the system onto 20 new ships. This is not tomorrow's weapon. This is hunting tonight. And here's the part that should chill any adversary. The destroyer in Hormuz isn't thinking. The destroyer is being thought for by a single mind that stretches 1,000 miles in every direction. The kill web. The old way of fighting was called the kill chain. A satellite spots a target. It sends data to a command center. The command center analyzes. They issue orders to a ship. The captain confirms. The ship fires. Detection to launch. Minutes, sometimes hours. In a swarm attack, you don't have minutes. You have heartbeats. Project Overmatch shattered the chain and replaced it with a web, the kill web. Watch how it hunts. A US Navy MQ-25 drone over the Persian Gulf catches a fast attack craft slipping out of Bandar Abbas. The drone doesn't report it. The drone uploads it. Instantly, the data is in the cloud. A satellite confirms the heat signature. An F-35 cross-references the boat's electronic emissions. An AI on a destroyer 60 miles away dissects the wake, the speed, the radar profile, and renders a verdict. Hudong-class missile boat. Live ordnance. Hostile. The destroyer never saw the target with its own radar. The destroyer doesn't ask permission from a command center in Bahrain. The web has already done the killing math. The destroyer fires. The threat is erased. Total elapsed time, under 10 seconds. The Pentagon calls this sensor-to-shooter. The eye that sees the target and the hand that kills it no longer have to be the same machine. They no longer have to be on the same ship. They no longer have to be on the same continent. The sanitized reality back to the swarm. 400 contacts on the screen. Most are fishing dhows, some are oil tankers. A handful are Revolutionary Guard speedboats with explosives welded to the hull. How does the AI separate the prey from the noise? Machine learning, years of it. Project Overmatch has been fed millions of hours of maritime data. It has memorized the wake of a fishing dhow at 8 knots, and it has memorized the engine signature of a boghammer speedboat at 45 knots. It has memorized the radar cross-section of a Shahed drone versus a Cessna. It dissects the radio chatter, the GPS pings, the radar pulses, and assigns every single contact a threat score in real time. So when 400 contacts flood the screen, the captain is not handed chaos. The captain is fed a sanitized tactical reality, a clean ranked execution list. Targets 1 through 90, civilian, ignore. Targets 91 through 100. Armed combatants on attack vector, engaging now. This is machine speed decision making. Killing faster than a human can think. The sailor still pulls the trigger. American doctrine keeps a human in the loop on lethal force. But the AI has already done every calculation, weighed every variable. You condemned every threat before the human eye even tracks the screen. It also saves a fortune. A single SM-6 interceptor costs over $4 million. Burning one on a decoy fishing boat is a victory for Iran. Project Overmatch turns that mistake into a near impossibility. The China weapon. Here is what almost nobody tells you. Project Overmatch was not built for Iran. Project Overmatch was built for China. The Pentagon's true nightmare is not a swarm in Hormuz. It is the People's Liberation Army Navy, over 400 warship, clamping down on Taiwan while contesting the entire South China Sea. If Project Overmatch can dominate that, then dismantling Iran's local blockade is a training exercise, a warm-up, and America is not building this brain alone. In October 2024, Project Overmatch sealed a historic project arrangement with the Five Eyes Alliance, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. For the first time, naval officers from all 5 nations are embedded inside the Project Overmatch program in San Diego. They are now sharpening the system for RIMPAC 2026, the largest international naval exercise on Earth, where the kill web will be unleashed in full coalition warfare. An Australian frigate spots. A British submarine confirms. An American destroyer kills. The web is no longer American. The web is allied. And critically, the web has no center. Project Overmatch runs on a software-defined, distributed architecture. There is no single server, no single command bunker, no single satellite that an enemy can take out to bring it down. Jam one ship's radar. The data instantly cannibalizes another sensor. Blind a satellite, a drone fills the gap. Sink a destroyer, a submarine inherits its eyes. The brain is everywhere. You cannot decapitate what has no head. The new reality. Return to the destroyer. 3 a.m. Strait of Hormuz. 400 contacts. The Iranian commander watching from the coast believes he has achieved information overload. He believes the American captain is drowning. He believes the swarm is about to break through and write history. He is wrong. On the destroyer, the captain is fed a sanitized tactical reality. 90% of the contacts burn green. Civilian. 8% burn yellow. Monitor. 2% burn red. Kill. The web has already devoured data from a Reaper drone over the Gulf of Oman, a satellite in low Earth orbit, and a U.S. submarine running silent under the thermocline of the Arabian Sea. The captain authorizes fire. Within seconds, the threats are erased. The civilian boats are untouched. Not a single missile is wasted. Iran spent 20 years preparing a 20th century swarm. America spent 5 years building a 21st century answer. Quantity meets quality. Steel meets software. And the side with better algorithms writes the ending. Over the strait. The U.S. Navy is no longer a fleet of ships. It is a floating supercomputer, a distributed intelligence. A hunting brain with no center, no off switch, and no mercy. In the Strait of Hormuz, Iran owns the geography. Iran owns the coastline. Iran owns the home field advantage. But the US Navy owns the data. In the next war, there will be no fog of war. There will only be those who see and those who are deleted.